Part 282. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2811. Chapter 2811. This is really caring enough. Such an arrangement is naturally the best. There is no need to offend anyone on either side. Mr. Lin's face showed joy and he responded hurriedly, "Yes, I will go and make arrangements for young master immediately." After saying that, he turned around and prepared to leave. "Wait a minute," Gong Zili called him. "Do you have any other instructions, Master Gong?" Mr. Lin stopped immediately. Gong Zili thought for a moment and asked in a cold voice, "Did Miss Jiao say when she would come over?" Mr. Lin rolled his eyes when he heard what he called Jiao Mian Mian. When he spoke again, he also changed the title, "Miss Jiao and the others will arrive around 8 o'clock in the evening." Them, Gong Zili narrowed his eyes, "Is there anyone else with her?" "Yes, the front desk said that when Miss Jiao booked the private room, they said it was for 3 people. 3 people. After Gong Zili roughly guessed who the other 2 people were, he frowned in displeasure. Her relationship with the opposite is quite good. It seems that every member of the opposite she comes into contact with likes her. Gong Zili felt a little bit in his heart for a few seconds. After thinking that he was actually not qualified to care about this matter at all, he twitched the corners of his lips in a self-deprecating way. No matter how uncomfortable he feels, no matter how much he doesn't like her having a good relationship with other men, it doesn't matter. He is not even qualified to care. He and she are not even friends. Speaking of which, what kind of good thing is he? It is a fact that he covets his brother's wife. I will pay for all their expenses tonight. Also, arrange a few more people in the private room to watch, and be sure to protect Miss Jiao. If she arrives, let me know." "Yes, Master Gong. I will definitely make arrangements." Mr. Lin thought to himself that MRSMO could be regarded as their boss's wife. Tonight's consumption is free of charge. Miyazawa Li said that he paid for all the expenses. He also specifically asked to protect MRSMO. This is really thoughtful enough. If MRSMO is not married yet, she will probably become the young lady of the palace in the future. After all, although the crown prince of the Gong family has never lacked women around him, those women are nothing more than amusement to him, and there is nothing serious about them. He behaved as if he was still obsessed with that MRSMO and was still thinking about her. Although infatuated. But she is married. He was still thinking about it. No wonder Moyesi didn't even join his brother. No man can bear this. Tisk, that young lady Mo's charm is really extraordinary. I looked at the photos before and looked very beautiful. I don't know if I am as beautiful as the photos. If I am as beautiful as the photos, it's no wonder that the 2 super bosses of the Gong family and the Mo family are both falling in love with her. It just so happens that the real owner is here tonight, and I will know exactly what he is doing at a glance. Asterisk. Chiao Mian and Jean Bo Chin Han took a taxi to Lineage. After getting off the car, I saw a few people standing on one side of the door. When the person in the lead saw Chiao Mian, he was startled at first, and then his eyes showed undisguised surprise. The rest of the people also looked surprised. Chiao Mian has seen this kind of look many times, so she doesn't take it seriously. She followed Chin Han and the others to the door. Just as she was about to enter, the man who had been staring at her suddenly walked up to her and asked in a respectful tone, "Is this Miss Jiao Mian Kiao?" Chiao Mian raised her head and looked at him. "I am, you are." End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2812. Chapter 2812. It's great to find a rich husband. Hello, Miss Jiao, I am Lin Suan, the general manager of Lineage. I am here to wait for you, Miss Jiao. While Mr. Lin was speaking, he couldn't help but raise his head and glance at Xiao Mian quickly, sighing once again that the so-called stunning beauty is nothing more than this. He has seen a lot of beauties. There are many of them in lineage. And they are all of good looks. But compared with the young lady Mo in front of me, the beauties in lineage are really compared to vulgarity. No wonder both Mo Yesi and Gong Zili fell in love with her. She looks so beautiful. Even when he saw it, his heart was filled with ups and downs. Today's women always look much better in photos than in real life. After all, photos can be photoshopped. Even if you have an ordinary appearance, you can use Photoshop to turn yourself into a beautiful woman. This person is even prettier than the photo. It's his first time seeing him anyway. Xiao Mian didn't feel surprised when she heard that Mr. Lin specially brought someone to wait for her at the door. She nodded and said, "Then please, Mr. Lin, please take us in." Since Mo Yesi is one of the shareholders, then the treatment she enjoys now is not surprising. However, although Xiao Mian felt that this treatment was normal, Zhanbo beside her was a little uneasy. He reached out and gently pulled off her sleeve and asked in a low voice, "Why is the general manager of this store so polite to you? And still standing here waiting for us? Is it possible that you are a VIP customer of this store, but even if you are a VIP customer, you won't have the general manager come out to greet you personally, right? Tell me, what's going on?" Xiao Mian was too pretentious, and the corners of her lips raised slightly. Well, she can be considered a VIP customer. VIP customers are treated like this. Zhanbo obviously didn't believe it. It's not like he has never been to such a high-end club. He is also a VIP customer in some clubs, but he does not get such treatment. Of course not. In fact, my husband has some shares in this store. So, I can be regarded as one of the proprietresses of this store. Zhanbo, he said. So you invited me and Brother Han to your store, Xiao Mian, is this a treat? Of course it counts. Xiao Mian rolled her eyes at him. You don't have to pay for it anyway. Besides, I didn't know about it in advance. I only found out when I booked the private room. Zhanbo, you don't know what kind of properties your husband has in his name. I don't know. Xiao Mian shrugged and said honestly, he has so many properties under his name that I can't even count them. I can remember them all. Zhanbo. He felt that Xiao Mian was showing off, but he had no proof. Finding a rich husband is amazing. These are still human words. Isn't this meant to provoke people? End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2813. Chapter 2813 Creating Opportunities. Well, he admitted it was a bit remarkable. Asterisk. Ms. Xiao, gentlemen, please take your time. If you need anything, just ask me. Mr. Lin took them to the private room and left. Zhanbo looked like he had no bones. He lay down on the sofa, and then said wow and sighed, the treatment of the boss lady is different, this box is too big and luxurious. Xiao Xiaomian, I have made up my mind, I will follow you from now on, otherwise I will call you sister. How about I call you Sister Xiao? Xiao Mian looked at him and gave him a funny look. I don't mind if you follow me, but I'm afraid your agent won't. No matter what he does, he can't control me. I don't care, I'll just follow you from now on. Okay. Xiao Mian deliberately pretended to think about it for a few seconds, and then said seriously, when I get back, I will ask someone to get a management contract. From now on, you will be my artist and make money for me. I will keep your popular drinks. Spicy. Okay, this is what you said, don't regret it? Chin Han looked at the two people talking and laughing, smiled, and shook his head. Fortunately, Chiao Mianmian's husband is not here. Otherwise, I don't know how Jean Bo died. Chiao Mianmian's husband is a very jealous man and extremely possessive of her. Fortunately, Jean Bo had no other thoughts about Chiao Mianmian, otherwise, his death would have been even worse. The president of the Mo family will not be merciful to the man who covets Chiao Mianmian. Even the brotherhood between the crown prince of the Gong family and him for so many years fell out at the drop of a hat. How much more to treat an outsider? Although both parties have refuted the rumors and said that it has nothing to do with Chiao Mianmian, people who know the inside story know very well whether it is related or not. Asterisk. In front of the mirror, Chiao Angzan was dressed up carefully. She touched her face and turned around in front of the mirror. After confirming that she was dressed beautifully and attractively, she turned around with satisfaction and threw the pink crocodile on the sofa. Picked up the leather bag. 2 hours ago, she received a call from Suzy. Suzy told her that Gong Zi had left Town C and would spend the evening at Lineage. Let her create an opportunity to show her face in front of Gong Zili. This news is undoubtedly excellent news for Chiao Angzan. After she saw Chiao Mianmian again, all the hatred she had in the past was aroused. Seeing Chiao Mianmian getting better and better, the hatred and jealousy in her heart became even deeper than before. The better off Chiao Mianmian is, the more she hated it. The more he wanted to cut Chiao Mianmian into pieces. How come that can have everything she wants? Having it so easily. And she lost everything because of that bitch. Coupled with the fact that Chiao Mianmian humiliated her in front of her today, Chiao Angzan felt even more resentful. She wanted to pay back all the insults she had suffered. No, she will pay back double the amount. She also wanted to let that taste what it felt like to be trampled on and insulted at will. But her current situation left her with nowhere to vent her anger even though she was holding it back in her heart. So what if she hates Chiao Mianmian? So what if she wanted to kill Chiao Mianmian? Chiao Mianmian has the support of the two aristocratic families, the Bai family and the Mo family, so she can't move at all. On the other hand, once she reveals any flaws, that Chiao Mianmian will definitely not let her go. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2814. Chapter 2814. It's time to give it to others. She could only endure that bitch. But she will definitely pay back all the humiliation she has suffered today. Chiao Angzan is more eager than ever to have a strong backer as soon as possible who can help her get everything she wants. He can help her deal with that Chiao Mianmian. Tonight is a good opportunity. She must hold on tight. As long as she can capture Gong Zili, half of her goals will have been accomplished. So for her, tonight is very crucial and important. No matter what, she can only succeed but not fail. Gong Zili. Chiao Angzan looked at herself in the mirror with exquisite makeup. After careful modification, she looked almost 80% similar to Chiao Mianmian. The corners of her lips curled up a little. With the confidence in her eyes, she said every word like a declaration, I will definitely make you interested in me. Don't you like that Chiao Mianmian? Can you resist my face that looks exactly like hers? Don't you think that Chiao Mianmian thinks she can charm all men with her charming face? Then I will use her face to away the men around her one by one. Not only Gong Zili, and Mo Yesi. These men who have been fascinated by you, I want them all to bow under my Chiao Angzan's pomegranate skirt. Especially Mo Yesi. The man she thought about day and night and wanted in her dreams. If she can successfully capture Mo Yesi, she has no regrets in her life. Chiao Mianmian, just wait. Wait and see how I take away everything you have little by little. I can even take away the man you have known for 10 years, and I can take down Gong Zili and Mo Yesi. It's just a matter of time. I don't believe it. There is no cat in the world who doesn't cheat. As long as you are a man, there is no one who dislikes the new and dislikes the old. You have occupied Moyesi for so long, and it is time to let him go to others. Don't worry, I will take your place. You love him well. Asterisk. In the box. The air was a bit stuffy. Gongzili unbuttoned a few buttons of his shirt and lay on the sofa with half-closed eyes. There was a bit of anxiety between his brows. Even though he had drank several glasses of ice water in a row, the pain on his chest was still there. The feeling of annoyance still couldn't be suppressed. A waiter stood in front of him and glanced at his face secretly, not even daring to take a breath. What is she doing now? Gongzili tugged at his collar anxiously, his narrow phoenix eyes full of anxiety. The waiter immediately replied cautiously, Miss Jiao is playing cards with her friends. Playing cards? It's just a game, whoever loses will be punished. What punishment? Draw some patterns on the face or something. Then did she win or lose? When I first came here, I saw that Miss Jiao's face was clean and there was nothing, but her two friends had turtles painted on their faces. Miss Jiao must have won several times. Come here to play cards and draw turtles? Doesn't she think it's childish and boring? Gongzili snorted from his nose. What's the fun in playing with those two boring men? It's better to watch soap operas at home. The waiter listened to his obviously sour words. He looked at his nose and mouth, and kept his mouth shut, not daring to say anything. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2815. Chapter 2815. Go over and say hello. This really looks like a jealous man. But, I heard that Miss Jiao is already married. Moreover, the person she married was the prominent second young master of the Mo family, Moyesi, the current president of the Mo family. Moyesi and Gongzili are brothers who have known each other for many years. The relationship between this is really messy. No wonder there were several scandals between Gongzili and Miss Jiao before. In any case, from the perspective of an onlooker, Miss Jiao probably had no interest in Gongzili. It's Gongzili. Since the Lineage store opened, he has not been to it even once. It was my first time to come here today, and by chance, Jiao Mian also came to Lineage. Even if it is really a coincidence. Because the several scandals they had spread before would also make others think that he was here for Jiao Mian. Otherwise I won't come at any time. I just chose to come here today. After a while. Are they still playing cards? Gongzili straightened up, holding the buttons with his long and beautiful fingers and fastening them. Looks like he is going somewhere. The waiter immediately put away his gossip and said respectfully, I was still playing cards when I came here, I should still be playing now. Gongzili stood up and tied the few buttons he had untied. He tugged on the collar of his shirt and walked out. Then I'll go over and say hello. In case she knows I'm here, she won't go. Say hello to her, thinking I have something against her. I don't know who he was addressing this sentence. As if explaining something. What is the identity of the crown prince of the Kagong family? What he does not need to explain to anyone. Who did he explain it to? What's more, besides him, there were only a few waiters and his subordinates in this box. He didn't even need to explain to anyone. So his behavior looked more like an excuse for himself in the eyes of the waiter. As he spoke, Gongzili had already strode out of the box. The waiter behind him looked at his leaving figure and couldn't help but secretly sigh in his heart that Miss Jiao was so charming. Even a man like Gongzili seemed to be fascinated by her. Knowing that she is married. Still thinking about it? But then again, Miss Jiao is indeed a top beauty, and her appearance is very attractive to men. He felt very excited just looking at her. Asterisk. Jiao Mian finished using the bathroom and was about to return to the private room. As soon as she came out of the bathroom, she saw a drunk man staggering towards her after taking a few steps. Before the man could reach her, there was a pungent and unpleasant smell of alcohol wafting over her. Chiao Mian frowned and walked aside to make way. The drunken man had already walked up to her. The unpleasant smell also became stronger. The smell of alcohol mixed with the smell of sweat made Chiao Mian couldn't help but cover her nose with her hands. She quickened her pace and tried to walk past the drunk man quickly. Who knew that the drunk man suddenly grabbed her and walked towards her with a smile. "What a beautiful beauty. Are you a newcomer to Lineage? Why haven't I seen you before?" Chiao Mian was shocked. "Sir, you have the wrong person. Let go, I am not an employee of Lineage." She shook off the drunk man with all her strength. Not wanting to get too entangled with the drunkard, she turned around and left quickly. "Hee, beauty, don't run away. Meeting is fate. You are not an employee of Lineage, so we can still be friends." The drunk man's eyes widened when he thought of the face he had just glanced at. Seeing Chiao Mian leaving, she immediately chased after him staggeringly. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2816. Chapter 2816, Did it scare you? He ran to Chiao Mian, stretched out his hand to stop her, and said with an inappropriate smile, "Beauty, don't leave, what are you afraid of? Brother is not a bad person. Don't be so cold, make friends. Tell brother you like it what, jewelry, or luxury cars and mansions." The drunk man looked at Chiao Mian from head to toe with a malicious look in his mung-bean eyes, and then reached out to touch Chiao Mian's face. "Look at you, you are so thin and tender. Come and let me pamper you. As long as you take good care of your brother, I'll buy you whatever you want." The drunken man acted like a drunken maniac because he was still drunk. At this moment, he was so obsessed with that he didn't even think about Chiao Mian's identity. The disgusting breath hit her face. Chiao Mian endured the nausea and slapped the man's hand away, reaching out to push him away. The man was already too drunk to stand upright. After being pushed by her, he staggered back 2 steps and fell heavily to the ground like a hungry dog pooping. The moment he fell to the ground, the man screamed in pain. He was irritated by Chiao Mian, raised his head, glared at Chiao Mian with a pair of eyes, and cursed angrily, "You bitch, you are so shameless, I will make you look good now." The man cursed and got up from the ground. He walked toward Chiao Mian with his fists raised in a fierce manner. He kept swearing, "You bitch, do you know who I am? I really take myself seriously when I give you some face. I have seen many women like you. Why are you pretending to be noble? Why don't you give me some? It's something you can play with for money." Seeing the man coming over cursing, Chiao Mian's expression suddenly changed. She quickly thought about whether she could beat this drunken man, and then she started running. A drunk man can do anything with just a little bit of alcohol. She doesn't want to take risks. She can't beat this man. But if she wants to run away, she can definitely run away. With the drunken and unsteady look on his face, the man would definitely not be able to catch up with her. Chiao Mian made up her mind and was about to run when footsteps suddenly sounded behind her, and a slender black figure walked past her. Before Chiao Mian could see the person clearly, she saw the black figure walking towards the drunk man in a few steps. In front of the man. The next second, the drunk man let out a wailing sound like a slaughtering pig. He was kicked to the ground by the man in black. The man in black put a foot on his chest, and when the drunk man was about to get up, he kicked him down hard. The drunken man howled in more pain. "Who are you? You "You dare to do this to me, I'm going to kill you," he howled while reaching out to open the feet of the man in black. However, before his hand could reach the hem of the man in black, he fell again. He was kicked and rolled sideways several times. Later, he was kicked so hard that he couldn't even speak. Only the strength to breathe is left. But he seemed to be still cursing. "Throw him out," the man in black added a final kick and knocked the person unconscious. Then he turned around in disgust and ordered several subordinates who came with him. "Yes, young Master Gong." Two bodyguards stepped forward, lifted the drunk man who had fainted from the ground, and then quickly left the scene with him. "Are you okay? Did I scare you? If I could have come here earlier, I wouldn't have let you be frightened like this." Gong Zili slowly walked up to Chiao Mian and saw her staring at him motionless. Look, there is a trace of worry in the narrow phoenix eyes. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2817. Chapter 2817. No need to be so polite to me. He really wanted to cut the man into pieces who deserved death. He's going to make that man pay. Paying a price even more terrible than death. Gong Zili, why is it you? Chiao Mian looked at the handsome man in front of her, exuding a violent aura. The surprise in her eyes had not completely dissipated. "Gong Zili, why are you here?" Gong Zili met her dark, soft, and bright eyes, and his heart beat hard twice. He had missed her so many days and nights, but he could only see her in his dreams. At this moment, she was standing in front of him, speaking softly. Talk to him softly. He could still smell the sweet fragrance emanating from her body. He memorized the smell for a whole 10 years. Everything is so real. Her person, her voice, and her breath are all real. She is completely different from the one in the dream. No matter how real the dream feels, it cannot compare to reality. He has always wanted to see her, but could not find the opportunity. He did not dare to look for her again. I'm afraid that she will resent him, hate him, and think that he is a stalker and shameless man. So even if he was going crazy thinking about her, he could only hold back. He told himself again and again that he should let go, that he should forget her and live a normal life and start a new life. In this world, no one can live without it. He, Gong Zili, should not have allowed himself to become so humble, nor should he have allowed himself to become such a despicable and shameless person. If she is not happy now, he has 1,010,000 reasons to her back. But she was doing well. He and Mo Yesi have known each other for many years, so he naturally knows his brother. Chiao Mian will live a happy life if she follows Mo Yesi. Mo Yesi will pamper her and love her forever. So he didn't even have the chance to wait. His best and most rational choice is to let go. It's not like he hasn't tried to do so. He kept Susu by his side just because he wanted to forget her little by little. But he only discovered it now. Even if he had 10 or 100 Susu around him, it would be of no use. Even if he finds more women who look like her, they are not her. It is even more impossible to replace her. I came here to discuss a business deal, and I made an appointment to discuss things here tonight. Gong Zili pursed his lips and was silent for a while, then lied. He did not dare to tell her the truth. Dare not tell her that he came to City C because of her. If he said this, it would only make her more resentful and make her avoid him even more. So that's it. Chiao Mian didn't delve into whether what he said was true or not. She nodded, and after a few seconds of silence, she tried to make her tone natural and normal and said, "Thank you just now. You don't have to be so polite to me." Gong Zili clearly felt her deliberate alienation, and felt a little sour in his heart. It's just a little effort. By the way, you haven't told me yet, are you okay? She didn't look like anything was wrong. But Gong Zili was still a little worried. As soon as he thought of the scene just now, the murderous intent in his eyes surged out again. I'm fine. Xiao Mian shook her head. It's okay. Gong Zili finally felt relieved, but his eyes were greedy and refused to move away from her. His eyes flashed and he whispered, "It's best to let the bodyguards follow you next time. There are too many people here with bad intentions. It's dangerous for you to be alone." End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2818. Chapter 2818. I'm meddling in other people's business. Doesn't she know how dangerous it is for her to wander outside alone? Fortunately, he decided to come over and say hello to her. Fortunately, on his way here, he saw the scene just now. Gong Zili's greedy and infatuated eyes lingered on her a few times, and then returned to her delicate porcelain white face, with a bit of infatuation and a bit of apathy in his eyes. If she is his woman, he will definitely protect her by his side and prevent her from encountering any danger. He will protect her throughout his life. Pamper her, love her, and give her everything he has. I don't know what Mo Yesi thinks. He actually let her stay in the entertainment industry. Don't you know what the entertainment industry is like? Even if she has someone to protect her, she doesn't dare to do anything to her. But that was also someone who knew her identity. If her identity is not known, her situation will become very dangerous. What happened just now is a good example. This time I was bumped into by him. If there is a next time, if no one protects her. Gong Zili frowned tightly and couldn't help but said, "What's going on with Mo Yesi? Why do you let you go out alone to film some scenes? In addition to what happened last time, I have already met you. It's twice dangerous." He also knew what happened before, so he trusts you so much and still dares to let you come out to film. Isn't he afraid that you will encounter any danger again? Didn't he tell me that you are very important to her and that he will take good care of you and protect you? Is this how he takes care and protects you? His voice became lower and lower, and there was anger in his eyes. It even revealed his dissatisfaction and accusations against Mo Yesi. Xiao Mian frowned when she heard him accusing Mo Yesi. She took a deep breath and told herself that Gong Zili had just helped her, and what he said now was for her own good. She shouldn't go complain with him. But after thinking about it, she still couldn't hold it back. "Gong Zili, you just helped me, and I'm very grateful to you. However, I don't think this means that you have any qualifications or rights to accuse my husband and think that he didn't take good care of me. I think our relationship between husband and wife is very good. Well, I am living a good and happy life now, and he has fulfilled his responsibilities as a husband and taken good care of me. I don't like people saying that to him. It's very unfair to him. Besides, the reason why I will continue to work in the entertainment industry is because he respects me enough. If he forces me to quit the entertainment industry regardless of my wishes, then he does not value me and disrespects me." When Gong Zili heard her speaking so protectively of Mo Yesi, his heart felt as if it had been cut off by a sharp knife. The sharp pain spread throughout his heart. His handsome face showed a bit of paleness, and his tightly pursed thin lips curled up sarcastically. "Stand up." Sorry. There was also a bit of self-deprecating sarcasm in his deep voice. He suppressed the sweetness that surged into his throat and said in a hoarse voice, "It was me who was meddling in other people's business. Since you are living a happy life, then I have nothing to worry about." Xiao Mian saw his dejected look. After a moment of silence, she said in a distant tone, "We are not even friends, and we don't have anything to worry about. Thank you very much for what happened just now. I should have treated you to a meal. I'm just a foodie, but..." End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2819. Chapter 2819 Smash the things in their hands. No need. Before she could finish her words, Gongzili interrupted her with a stiff voice, and the mockery in his eyes became even stronger. I said it before, it's just a matter of effort. The situation just now would be, I will also help others. So you don't have to treat me to dinner. She could only express her alienation from him directly. Actually, Gongzili didn't know that she was trying to avoid suspicion. They have had so many scandals. No matter the authenticity of those scandals, at least in the eyes of others, their relationship is ambiguous. She is now Mo Yesi's wife. Even if she doesn't care what others say, she still cares about Mo Yesi's feelings. So it is natural to keep a distance from this ambiguous object. He can understand her approach. Just seeing her avoiding him like this, his heart began to sting again and again. The sharp pain spread from his entire heart to his limbs and bones. The blood on his face faded at a speed visible to the naked eye, and his handsome face looked paler than before. Even the lip color is light white. Then I still want to say thank you. If there is nothing else, I will take the first step. My friend is still waiting for me. After Chiao Mian finished speaking, he turned and left. She had just taken 2 steps when her eyes were suddenly pierced by a flash. Before she could realize what was happening, she heard Gongzili's furious voice behind her, "What are you taking pictures of? Stop!" Gongzili walked past her with an angry aura. Chiao Mian was stunned, raised her head and looked in the direction he was walking, and then saw 2 sneaky people hiding at the corner of the corridor. Seeing that Gongzili had discovered them, the 2 of them looked panicked and were about to run away. Gongzili's 2 bodyguards reacted very quickly. Just when they were about to run, they quickly stepped forward and stopped them. Gongzili walked up to the 2 people with a cold face. He lowered his head and glanced at the shooting equipment in the hands of the 2 of them. His narrow eyes narrowed little by little, and his eyes became colder. Seeing him, the 2 sneaky men had frightened and panicked expressions on their faces. "Smash what they have in their hands," Gongzili ordered the bodyguards in a toneless voice. "Yes, young Master Gong." The bodyguard got the order and immediately went to get the cameras in the hands of the 2 people. "Gong, Mr. Gong, you misunderstood. We were not taking pictures of you just now, we were just taking pictures of the decoration environment of this club." Upon hearing that Gongzili was so simple and rude about smashing their cameras, the 2 of them immediately stretched out their hands to take pictures of them. The camera is covered tightly, like protecting a family heirloom. These 2 are reporters from Apple Weekly, responsible for the entertainment gossip section. Of course, to put it mildly, they are entertainment journalists, but in fact they are also called paparazzi. Still the kind of unscrupulous paparazzi who makes money by digging into artists' privacy. They will follow and photograph some famous and popular artists. If they are lucky enough to photograph something hot and private, the artist will usually spend money to buy the secretly photographed things from their studio. If the artist refuses to spend money to buy it, they will expose it to earn traffic. These 2 people are actually not here to meet Chiao Mian today. They didn't have the guts to follow Chiao Mian. The artist they were following also came to this club to spend money today, and they accidentally discovered that Chiao Mian and Gongzili were also here. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2820. Chapter 2820. This is too cruel, and what you do is too awesome. This is of course an unexpected surprise and gain for them. Although Chiao Mian and Gongzili are not people they can offend, so they will not take the initiative to provoke. However, it was another story that they bumped into a private meeting between 2 people here. They would be fools if they let the super revelation come to their doorstep. Even if the 2 of them are not having a private meeting, so many ambiguous scandals can be spread to them. When they publish the news, they will just say that they are having a private meeting. How can netizens know whether it is true or not? Netizens will definitely feel that they are really having a private meeting. The news in the entertainment industry is always true and false and true. No matter what the truth is. The most important thing is to be able to catch people's attention. Xiao Mian is the most popular A-line flower at the moment. Coupled with the fact that she had an affair with the crown prince of the Gong family. Tisk, tisk, the Weibo server will definitely be paralyzed for a long time. The two people thought about taking secret photos and ran away immediately. Unexpectedly, Gong Zili discovered them, and they were arrested before they could run away. They were naturally unwilling to hand over the camera. The news value of photographing Gong Zili and Xiao Mian is much higher than that of the artist they were originally supposed to photograph. Their lame excuses, naturally no one believed them. Gong Zili looked at them with cold eyes. What are you doing standing still? I'll smash you. The bodyguard did not hesitate any longer. Forcibly took the camera from the hands of two reporters, smashed it to the ground, and stepped on it several times. They did not stop until they took out the memory card inside and confirmed that the camera was completely damaged. Looking at the camera that had become a pile of waste, the two reporters looked pale. Even though they were extremely angry, they did not dare to say a word. The bodyguard stepped forward. Mr. Gong, we just confirmed that the camera is completely broken. Gong Zili's eyes were still full of anger. Let's check which media company they are from. I want to see which company raises people who are so bold and dare to go against me. The two reporters felt a thump in their hearts when they heard this. Miyazawa originally asked the bodyguards to smash their cameras, and they were already very angry. But now, hearing this, does Gong Zili still not intend to give up? If the company is found, the company will naturally not dare to offend Gong Zili. If you don't want to offend Gong Zili, then you can only attack them. Miyazawa is going to make them lose their jobs. This is too cruel, and what you do is too terrible. Master Gong, we already know that we were wrong. We will never dare to do it again in the future. No matter how dissatisfied they were with Gong Zili in their hearts, they knew very well that this was not someone they could offend. Gong Zili wanted to deal with them as easily as crushing an ant. The two of them did not want to lose their jobs because of this incident, so they humbly begged Gong Zili for mercy. Yes, Master Gong, we already know that we were wrong. You have a lot of money, don't care about little people like us. We will never dare to secretly photograph you again. The two begged for love for a while, but seeing that Gong Zili was still indifferent, they turned to beg Xiao Mian who was standing aside. Miss Xiao, I'm sorry, we were wrong. We shouldn't have secretly photographed you and young Master Gong. We will never dare to do this again in the future. Please beg young Master Gong and let him let us go. Miss Xiao, we have seniors and juniors, and we can't lose our current jobs. Miss Xiao, my mother is still lying in the hospital. If I lose my job, I won't have money to pay her medical bills. End of this chapter.